Hi guys, so a few days ago I put up a video where I was working on some spires for the Gangs of Commorragh game and they looked something like this, and I want to show you where I am now. And you just saw me do a weird lunge towards the camera as I went to turn my speakers down because I get a weird reverb thing going on when my intro plays through my speakers. Anyway, with that out of the way, this is how they look now. So in the last one I was asking people for advice on how I should detail these things. And I was thinking I should put spikes on them and all sorts. This is what, I'll just move these out of the way quickly. This is what I'd come up with. I'd put these two bands around this little one here and yeah, throw that away. So, what I decided to do was, I decided to get the old machine cutter out that I'd used to cut the shapes in the first place, have a little play in paint.net, and just cut some Dark Eldar-y sharp shapes out of the middle, which I did. And then I cut out the same thing again, so it was like a mesh, almost. Again, just the same thickness of styrene, and layered it on top, just slapped it on top, just like that. In fact, if I show you this one here, you'll get a better idea, as you can see here, because this one's just had just a shot of the primer on it, so you can see it just a little bit better. Oh, I knocked a bit of the primer off there. I need to be more patient with these things. So it's basically what I had last time, which is the 3 pieces of 0.25 crimped together at the edges while the glue was setting, and then a more detailed piece slapped on top and glued in place over it to add the detail. I did the same to the one that ended up looking more 2D. So I ended up cutting lots of bits up, and this was a lot more tricky to do, but it came out fairly nice. This one's still probably my least favourite of them all, even though it's got a lot more detail going on with it. But yeah, so that's how they came out. So the first one I did was this one, and then I set about painting them. So for painting these, I decided I was going to do just a sort of black and white grey theme, which is what we've got here. Now what I've done here is I basically was primed in black, then I came in with this here and highlighted all the different bits that you can see, and then I just went into the gap again and hit it with a shade to bring in the low light, and that's basically how that looks. Now I did exactly the same thing with these two here, except with this one I gave it a shot of Soulstone blue over the top, and then just a quick dark shot of black wash in the center. And then for the green one I did exactly the same thing with this one here. Excuse me for a second. Still haven't got over this cold. And what that did was, because I'd laid down the grey, and because I was only putting down thin layers of this stuff, and this one's actually a gloss to begin with, it just brought up the lighter bits that I'd done with the airbrush and made them this bright colour while keeping the dark bits dark. And then of course I came in afterwards and hit them with a dark colour with black on the centre bits as well anyway, which makes these edges really pop. And when they're on the black table, which if you saw the thumbnail to this video, you'll notice that these really pop when they're on the black table, which is where they're going to be for my gaming surface. So I've got 3 colours at the moment. I've got the grey, which is the base colour here, and then I've got those 2 colours there, which make up these 2 here. And then I've got the 2 new designs, which I worked on yesterday, or sometime, I can't remember. This one here, inspired by some of the terrain that you get in some of the Dark Eldar games, like the Dawn of War game, I think it was. I saw this sort of edge that they had going on some of the buildings in the RTS games on the PC, so I decided to copy it. And then I did this really cool pattern going down the middle there. That one I think might be my favourite, and it's got this quite cool like centre bit there. Looks quite nice. That'll look quite cool when it's got the paint on it. Again, not sure what colour to go for. I'm almost thinking of doing exactly the same thing, except instead of going for the green or the blue, I might go for a bit of red instead, so we can have a nice deep red one. And then we've got this one here. This one seems to have been a hit with the guys on the Gangs of Commorragh Facebook group. If you haven't been on that, if you're a fan of the game and you want to find more resources for this sort of thing, people who are playing it, people painting, all that sort of stuff, people generally talking about the game, coming up with fan-made rules, that sort of crap, head on to Facebook, look for Gangs of Commorragh Community, I think it's called. Join that, you'll get added fairly quick. And yeah, so I've been sharing this on there. This seems to have been a hit with a lot of the guys on there. I think it's the shape, to be honest. It's this top. It's got quite a nice shape to the top of it, and I think I agree with them. To be honest, out of all of them, I like these three shapes the most. So my first one, and those two, but of all of them, I think this one here has got to be the winner. Right, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. We'll call them from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me know which one you prefer. Right. Yeah, let me know what you think of the paint job as well. I'm new to airbrushing, as you all know. So it's a learning curve, to be honest, doing this sort of thing. I was trying to pick out and get these sort of bits lighter while leaving the dark bits in the recesses, and then I don't know how well that came out. It didn't work so well on that one. Excuse me a second. But this one seems to have come out a little bit better, but still not so well. It's great for picking out really, really light bits on the parts that stick out. You can really get a nice sort of spike on on the bits that protrude. So it's great for that. And like I say, I'm looking forward to getting it on these guys, hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow, and seeing what I can't get these to look like with some red. Maybe even use some of the hex pattern that I've got here. Maybe get some of that on there. I don't know. Let me know what you think about the hex pattern as well. Whether I should maybe try and get some of that on there. Whether that's worthwhile, I have no idea. Might look quite cool. Right then. This was supposed to be a fairly quick video, but I think it's going on a bit longer than I'd expected. But I am loving these. From something that started off as a sort of, oh, let's see if it works to replace the stuff that comes in the box. Let's have a see if I can come up with something that's okay. I think I've come up with something that I really, really like. I am really, really happy with how these came out, and I'd probably pay a lot of money for these to replace what's in the box, to be honest. So I'm absolutely chuffed that I've been able to make something to this size standard, and of course it appeals to my artistic side as well, and also to my engineering side, that I've been able to come up with a funky method of building the things as well. It's always good. Excuse me. Right then, yeah, try and keep it as short as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Stay well, guys.